Good morning, Miss Lopez. Welcome to the Hyatt Regency Hotel. Please, have a seat. My name is Peter William, the Director of Human Resources here. Thank you for taking the time to meet with us today.
Good morning, Mr. William. Thank you so much for having me. It's a pleasure to be here.
To begin, could you please tell us a little about yourself and why you are interested in working as a waitress?
Of course. I have always loved helping people and making sure they have a great time. In my previous customer service jobs, I learned how to talk to people well and solve problems quickly. I enjoy busy places and work well under pressure, which I think is perfect for a restaurant. I like meeting people from all over, and I believe being a waiter lets me help create special memories for guests during their meals.
Why do you specifically want to work as a waiter at the Hyatt Regency Hotel?
I admire the Hyatt Regency because it is known for its amazing service and high standards. I have visited before and was so impressed by how professional and warm the team was, and how every little detail was perfect. I want to be part of a team that cares about guest happiness as much as I do, and I feel my skills would fit perfectly here.
Imagine a very busy dinner service and a coworker suddenly feels ill and has to leave. You are left with more tables to handle alone. How would you manage your tasks and keep service smooth?
First, I would stay calm. I would quickly look at all my tables and see who needs help first, like guests who have been waiting the longest or who need their drinks. I would politely tell my guests there might be a small wait, but that I am there for them. I would group tasks, like taking an order from one table while dropping drinks at another. I would also immediately tell my manager so they could try to get some help.
Can you describe your previous experience in the food service industry?
Yes, I have worked for 2 years in a busy restaurant. There, I learned how to handle many tables at once, use the computer system to put in orders correctly, and make guests feel welcome. I've worked through very busy times, which taught me to stay organized and professional even when it's stressful.
What would you say is your greatest strength, and how would it help you as a waitress here?
My greatest strength is making guests feel welcome and building a friendly connection. I am good at talking to people and making them feel comfortable. This helps me understand what they might need before they even ask, so I can provide really great service.
While carrying a tray of food, you notice a spill on the floor in the main dining area. What do you do?
My first job is to deliver the food safely. Once the food is delivered, I would quickly make sure no one walks near the spill. Maybe I ask a nearby guest to watch it for a second. Then I would get the cleaning supplies and clean it up immediately so no one slips. Safety for our guests and team is the most important thing.
A guest asks to change a dish in a way that is not allowed by our kitchen's policy. How do you handle this?
I would be very polite. I would say, I understand what you'd like, but for this dish, our chefs cannot make that change to keep our quality high. Then, I would immediately suggest other dishes or ways we can customize their meal within our rules. The goal is to offer a great alternative, so they are still happy.
How do you make sure you truly understand what a guest wants or needs?
I listen very carefully. I look at the guest, I don't interrupt, and if I am not sure, I ask questions to make it clear. For example, if someone says they have an allergy, I take time to discuss the menu with them and then talk to the kitchen to make sure their meal is safe. This makes the guest feel trusted and cared for.
How do you stay organized and manage many different tasks when the restaurant is full?
I prioritize. I think about what needs to be done right away, like a guest waiting for their order, and what can wait a minute. I also keep a mental checklist. Talking with my teammates is key. We can help each other so nothing is missed. For example, in my last job, I managed 5 tables by timing my visits to each one based on where they were in their meal, so everyone got attention without feeling rushed.
A young child at one of your tables is being very loud and disturbing guests at nearby tables. How would you handle this diplomatically?
I would approach the table with a smile and speak quietly to the parents. I might say, "I hope you're enjoying your meal. I just wanted to let you know the sound is carrying a bit to other guests. Is there anything I can bring for your child, like some crayons, to help?" This shows I want to help, not blame, and lets the parents handle it kindly.
The kitchen tells you we have run out of the fish the guest just ordered. How do you tell the guest and what do you do next?
I would go to the table and apologize sincerely. I'd say, "I'm so sorry, but we have just sold out of the sea bass. May I recommend the grilled salmon or the lobster risotto instead? Both are fresh and very popular." I would help them choose something else they will love, making them feel looked after.
Can you give me an example of a wine you might recommend and why?
Sure. If a guest orders a steak, I might suggest a full-bodied red wine like a Cabernet Sauvignon, because its strong flavor goes perfectly with the meat. If they order seafood, I'd suggest a crisp white wine like a Sauvignon Blanc. I always ask if they prefer something lighter or stronger first, so my suggestion fits their taste.
You realize you have just served the wrong main course to a table. How do you fix this mistake?
I would apologize right away. "My apologies, I've brought the wrong dish. Let me correct this for you immediately." I would quickly take the plate back, tell the kitchen to rush the correct order, and maybe offer a small appetizer or a drink while they wait. I would check back to make sure the new meal is perfect.
2 different tables call for you at the exact same time. How do you handle both?
I would make eye contact and give a small, polite nod to both tables so they know I see them. I would quickly go to the table that seems to need something faster, like asking for their bill, and say, "I'll be with you in just one moment." Then I would go to the second table as fast as I can. Clear, calm communication prevents guests from feeling ignored.
How comfortable are you with setting tables to a high standard, like we require here?
I am very comfortable and pay great attention to detail. I know how to properly polish glassware and silverware, fold napkins, and make sure everything is perfectly placed and spotless. I understand that the table setting is the first thing a guest sees, and it must be impeccable.
What do you know about food safety, and how do you practice it?
Food safety is very important. I know about safe food temperatures, preventing raw and cooked foods from touching, cross-contamination, and washing hands often. I always follow these rules to protect our guests and team.
A guest tells you they do not like their meal at all. What do you do?
First, I would listen carefully without being defensive. I'd say, "I'm very sorry to hear you're not happy with your dish. Could you tell me what's wrong so I can make it right?" Based on their answer, I would offer to replace the meal, bring a different dish, or involve my manager. My goal is to solve the problem so they leave happy.
A party of 8 wants to split their bill 4 different ways. How do you manage this efficiently?
I would smile and say, "No problem at all." I would then ask clearly, "Would you like to split it evenly, or does each person have specific items?" I would write down each person's order carefully on the system, double-check the final bills, and present them clearly. For a large group, I'd ask for a little patience while I get it exactly right.
How do you feel about suggesting additional items to guests, like a starter or a premium wine?
I see it as a way to improve their experience. If a guest orders a main course, I might mention how well our truffle mashed potatoes go with it, or suggest a dessert wine to finish. I always suggest things that truly add to their meal, not just to sell more.
A guest says they have a serious nut allergy. What is your process?
I take it very seriously. I would thank them for telling me, ask detailed questions to be sure I understand, and then repeat the allergy to the kitchen manager directly. I would suggest dishes I know are safe and double-check with the kitchen before the food goes out. I would also check back with the guests to assure them everything is correct.
If you noticed the coworker was not doing their share of work during a shift, what would you do?
First, I might ask them privately if they are okay or if they need help with something. If nothing changes and it affects our service, I would respectfully let my manager know so they can address it. It's important for the whole team to work well together for our guests.
If a guest left a negative review about service on their table, how would you use it to improve?
I would read the review carefully to understand what went wrong. I would discuss it with my manager and team to see how we can prevent it next time, maybe by communicating better or checking on guests more often. Every piece of feedback is a chance to learn and get better.
This role requires being on your feet for long periods, especially on busy nights. How do you handle that?
I am used to it from my previous roles. I wear very comfortable, supportive shoes, stay hydrated, and keep a positive attitude. Focusing on giving great service keeps me energized. I have worked many long shifts during holidays and busy seasons successfully.
Are you available to work evenings, weekends, and holidays as needed in a luxury hotel?
Yes, I understand that these are the busiest and most important times in hospitality. I have a flexible schedule and am ready to work whenever the team and our guests need me.
If a manager asked you to stay for overtime with very short notice, how would you respond?
If I am able to stay, I would say yes and make sure I'm ready to work well. If I had a prior commitment I couldn't change, I would explain that honestly to my manager right away and see if I can help in another way, like coming in early the next day.
A guest asks for a dish that isn't on our menu. How do you respond?
I would say, "That sounds lovely, but unfortunately it's not on our current menu. However, our chef has created some wonderful dishes. May I suggest mention a signature dish or see if we can adjust one of our current dishes for you?" I would focus on what we can do to delight them.
Why is workplace safety important to you, and what's one thing you always do?
It's the most important thing for our team and our guests. One thing I always do is clean up any spill, wet floor, or obstacle immediately and put up a sign if needed to prevent an accident.
Are you familiar with computerized point-of-sale systems for orders and payments?
Yes, I've used them in my last job to put in orders, split bills, and process payments. I am a quick learner and can easily adapt to the specific system you use here at Hyatt.
Finally, can you tell me about a time you handled a very high-pressure situation successfully at work?
Certainly. During a holiday dinner rush, we were fully booked and the kitchen got backed up. I stayed calm, kept guests updated with friendly smiles, offered complimentary bread or drinks to those waiting long, and coordinated closely with the kitchen runner. We got through it, and many guests thanked us for our hard work. It showed me that teamwork and a positive attitude turn pressure into success.
Thank you for your thorough and thoughtful responses, Ms. Lopez. That concludes my formal questions. Now, I'd like to give you the opportunity. Is there anything you would like to ask me about the role, the team, or the Hyatt Regency?
Yes, thank you. I do have one question. Could you tell me a bit more about the training and development opportunities for waiters here at the Hyatt Regency?
That's an excellent question. We have a comprehensive 2-week induction program that covers our luxury service standards, menu knowledge, and wine pairing. Additionally, we offer regular workshops on topics like advanced guest engagement and sommelier basics for those interested in growing their careers. We believe in investing in our team's growth.
That sounds fantastic and very supportive. Thank you for explaining.
You are most welcome. We are committed to ensuring our team has the tools to succeed. Unless you have any other questions, that will be all for today.
No, that was all. Thank you again.
Excellent. It has been a genuine pleasure speaking with you today, Ms. Lopez. You have presented yourself very professionally, and your experience and approach align well with our values here at Hyatt Regency.
Thank you so much. That is very kind of you to say.
Our next steps will be to complete the interview process with other shortlisted candidates. You can expect to hear from our HR team via email or a phone call within the next 5 to 7 business days regarding the outcome.
Perfect, I understand. I will look forward to hearing from the team.
Wonderful. Once again, thank you for your time and your interest in becoming part of our family. We wish you all the best.
Thank you for the opportunity and your hospitality today. Have a wonderful day, Mr. William.
You too, Miss Lopez. Goodbye.